Beautiful. Let me just check and see whether I am live here on Facebook. Just 2 seconds. Let me have a look. Yeah, fantastic. Up and rolling. So how are we all today? I'm live here on Zoom and also Facebook. I'll probably upload this to YouTube as well. So yeah, welcome. I am super duper excited about sharing this information with you, as I usually am, because I believe that it's really amazing information. And no, I'm not going to sell you anything. If anything, sell it to yourself, because I do believe in self-care and self-love. And there are certain things perhaps in your life that is not going the way that you would like it to be. And so maybe this might be for you. So first of all, thank you for showing up on the webinar. It's going to be fun. Okay, so it's about turning worry into fun and creating your own miracles. And we really do need as many people creating their own miracles now as much as possible. If there was another year, it would be this year to create something pretty awesome for yourself. So first of all, you know, the most amazing thing is that the universe works in a particular way. And I also know that most of you on this webinar have been involved in a personal development journey of some kind. Either you're already students of myself, or you have opted into other programs. In some way or another, you are absolutely in the right direction in regards to personal development. And as many people go out and try and find business coaches and coaches to help them do their landing pages and everything else on social media, but in fact, mindset is probably 99% of the key, really, is to get that right, is really mindset. And for myself, I've been, I guess, the last 20 years plus, I can probably say plus, on this journey in the personal development space. And I've done quite a few things in my life. I've traveled to 63 different countries. Later on, I'll explain exactly how many programs I've been involved in. And I still run a clinical practice here in Brisbane. And I'm also a transformational coach, which is what I'm here. So I'm a new age practitioner, as well as I help people, stop becoming stuck in their life, stop oscillating, so that they can create something pretty awesome, whether it be in relationships, health, or business. So I'm really thankful that I can be here with you today, right now, to navigate and help you navigate through this human life. And I know it can be really challenging at times. It can be really challenging, because you're not only looking after yourself, but you're also looking after perhaps other people, right? So, you know, I've actually had many mentors for myself along the way. And when I look at it all, many people are really teaching similar stuff. So they're just teaching it from different, angles. So today I want to talk about creating, how to get what it is that you're wanting in your life, how to create miracles, how to really stop worrying and have anxiety, and really just love the life that you actually are leading right now. Love what you're actually doing and have a lot of fun with it, and a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and a lot of love. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's actually a really big call with what's actually happening on planet Earth. But I just want to let you know that I'm going to be explaining a little bit about what's happening globally, and why we are either stuck or oscillating. And for many of us, we are not living in that path of least resistance. And so I'll be talking about structure that we live in, and I'll be doing some whiteboard stuff. I've got that ready to go, so that you can physically have a look. So this will be like a visual, because I know, there's a majority of the population that learned through auditory, just by listening. Other people learn better when, through visualization. So hence I've got my whiteboard, because at the end of this, my whole intention is for you to really, truly understand that it's absolutely possible for you to create whatever it is that you're creating, whether you're, looking at bringing in a soul partner into your life, whether it be, financial, business, whether it be health issues that you're combating at the moment. There's a whole lot of stuff. And I'll also be working, and I'll be talking a little bit about the universal conscious field. And of course, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the recoding and how we can actually remove the resistance so you can move forward. Because everything in that lower vibration is all to do with resistance. Procrastination is resistance. Getting angry about stuff is resistance. Getting triggered about stuff is resistance. So learning some skill or strategy to remove the resistance so you can actually have more satisfaction in your life. And I'll also be giving you an opportunity to work with me personally or in a group setting. So during the webinar, depending on what I'm doing right now, sometimes I go off on a tangent. And so I'm going to be giving you that opportunity. So again, this is not a sales pitch. Make it about you. Maybe you need to give yourself a sales pitch to actually get things moving if you're not happy or 100% happy where you are and you do need help. And perhaps there's going to be some things that I'm going to be discussing on this webinar that you will absolutely 100%, 1000% start resonating with. So for some of you, you have probably, and experienced about the recode. And the recode is like the icing on the cake. That's how I say it. And it's how I remove resistance so quickly. Because remember, we are 99.99% energy. So we give up frequency all the time, and our cells communicate through electromagnetic radiation. And so given the right frequency, and you can call it the law of vibration, which will then turn into the law of attraction, what we need to do is we need to remove the resistance as quickly as possible. And we have trillions and trillions and trillions of cells in our body. Why is that important? Why is that really hard? Is because you can be forever and a day trying to figure out what went wrong in your life, or, trying to figure out what happened when you were 2 years old. Was it your parents? Was it your grandparents? Was it a teacher in your life that you're actually perhaps, giving them the responsibility and blaming them for what's happening in your life? So I'm going to debunk all of that. And there's also a lot of talk about how to tap in to the higher realms of consciousness, moving from that 3D reality, which that's us now in our human existence, and being able to get to that 4D and that 5D reality. What is that? Is the 3D reality is very much all of our human emotions. And sometimes we can get so dragged down with our human emotions that it's going to be very difficult for us to increase our frequency, remove the resistance, and get to that 4D, 5D reality. Now, I just also want to say really quickly right now is that if this is going too fast for you, I apologize, because it just all comes out. I get downloads and I speak. But this will always be here on Facebook. I'm going to keep it there, and I'll also put the replay into the Abundant Mind 101, which is a small little mini program, which is free. So if you wanted to tap into that, just send me your email and I'll get you connected to that. And then you'll be able to re-listen to this on your own, fast forward, normal play, whatever you like. So what has all this got to do with anxiety and depression and all those feelings that we feel sometimes on a daily basis? And I must say, right now, it's probably a way of life right now. And there is a lot of people that are having a lot of awakenings. So some people are awakening up to the health factor of what's going on, and they're questioning our health system. Other people are waking up to, on a bigger scale, who actually runs the world and has set all the rules. Other people are following along, but they're now waking up and they're deciding, well, it's a little bit confusing what's happening on planet Earth. I'm very confused. Maybe they might feel like they've been lied to. So there's different ways of awakening. So the thing is that on this webinar as well, I'm going to be going through a little bit of understanding the law of attraction. So in a nutshell, and I mentioned this just before, it is all about your awareness and understanding your sovereignty. And sovereignty, I mean, is you giving yourself the authority of how to actually think for yourself. So you observe, you step back, you get all the research, you get all the data, and you're actually thinking for yourself. You are not regurgitating other people's information. So sovereignty is also your freedom, and understanding that we do have the power. We're actually, as you know, 99.99% frequency, not even 1% matter. Yet we live very much like it's the other way around. If we can't see it, it's not real. If we can't hear it, it's not real. If we can't taste it, it's not real. But I have to say that frequency, you may not be able to see. Vibration, you might not be able to see so much. You can't hold like a thought or an emotion in your hand. So with so much research, we do have the ability, how's this, to change ourselves internally now and create abundance in our life. And today, over the next hour, I'm going to be dropping some really good teachings here. And if you know it already, fantastic, congratulate yourself, because you're halfway there. And if this is new information, that's okay too. Everyone is at different levels, different teachings. Everyone has different knowledge. Everyone is open to certain things. So I just want to say that I'm excited that you're here. You'll probably notice my eyes going all over the place because I'm keeping track of all my social media where I'm live streaming. So please forgive me if you think my eyes are darting all over the place, because I'm watching all these screens. So look, I am excited that you're here. There's quite a lot of you on, which is great. And so you are welcome to comment in the chat line on the Zoom call. I can answer it pretty much immediately because I can see it. But with Facebook, I can't really, because the comments come through maybe 10 seconds later. That's why I always drop the Zoom link, because you can always ask me questions. So this is my time. I come 11 a.m., which is Brisbane time, AEST time, every Thursday. I always love to, my whole intention is really to give you as much information as I can. So let's get into it. We'll get started. So if you don't know me, and this is the first time that you have seen me, I just want to say hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Jane Bryson, and I have been a naturopath for like over 18 years. I live in sunny Brisbane, which I believe is the best place in Queensland, Australia. And I'm really grateful that you're actually here, and I am going to share a lot of stuff with you, as much as I can. And you know that saying, when a cookie crumbles, I think it's probably an Australian saying. It's like that aha moment when you're open to listening to something and all of a sudden you just get it. I don't know about you, but I get them quite often, that I might read something or hear something and I might go, oh my gosh, that's it. And it could have been exactly the same information that I heard or read maybe 5 years ago, and it just didn't compute. I was not open enough at that particular time. So right now on this webinar, live streaming, you may get some aha moments with what I'm going to be sharing with you. And because there are some certain concepts which may completely change how you view things. And I think that's a really good thing. It's a great thing. So all the laws of the universe, including the exclusive laws of attraction, and I'm sure you know what the law of attraction is, can be really elusive to many people. Because as you know, you can look around, especially on social media, and you can see certain people being able to attract more things than other people, right? That's why I say it's elusive, because for some people, it just seems that it's very easy for them to attract whatever it is, which could be, money, it could be an amazing relationship, a soul partner, it could be travel, it could be whatever it is. There's certain people that just seem to have it all, although we're still living under the same universal law of attraction. And here's what I want to say, and you must understand this, is that we can, first of all, we can choose the life that we're wanting to lead. We can choose it. We have a choice. And to live in the right structure is also a choice. Living in true choices and learning to be in that right structure. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about that on my whiteboard so that you understand it. And for those that are visual, this will be really, really good. And it's about looking at the right structure. And then I also talk about, I'm going to be talking about creating enough tension within our lives. And the tension is the resistance that we feel towards something. So as you're moving towards what it is that you're wanting, and you know how you move forward, you have a goal and then you get pushed back again. That's the tension. I'm going to be explaining why that happens, that we're moving towards our goal and we don't get there. And it's like this elastic band and boom, we get pulled back and we don't actually get what it is that we're wanting. And you see, it's only when you can remove the resistance that you can actually start your aligned action, not just action. We can be busy, 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 but I'm talking about once you remove the resistance and you learn how to do that really quickly, you then move with aligned action towards the life that you're wanting to create. And we call that the end result. That could be your end goal. That could be your desired reality. And you see, that there is the fun part when you're creating, when you remove all the resistance, it's like this ease and flow. And you see, it's always without the struggle and the frustration and the pain. And we have all felt the pain. And you're probably a person like myself who has been seeking how the world actually works, how to get to that place of certainty, that joyful life, the good life, the happy life. And about that happy life, I have people that I work with that have the money, they have the relationship, but they're not happy. You see, it's different to every single person, to everyone. So I work with different people. Maybe they want to have a successful, thriving business. So let's remove the resistance around that. Maybe they're wanting to bring in a soul partner. Well, let's remove all the resistance around that. Because I can tell you, and if you listen to this, if you can remove the resistance without changing any beliefs, mind you, which is what a lot of coaches try and do. They try and change the beliefs and try and figure out what the problem is back when you were 5 years old. Good luck with that, because you've got trillions of cells with painful memories intertwined. It's going to take you the next 100 years to work that out. So maybe, you've been like me and you've joined different programs and certifications and you've read lots of self-help books and you studied maybe at uni or online somewhere, or you've got a great friend that teaches you. That there's many, many different ways of finding out how the universe works. I have to say that I'm really grateful that you're here and you're on the call and you're getting the information from me. So here's the question. And I can ask you this and you can pop it in the comments if you like, but what do you truly desire? What is it that you really want from life? What do you really, really want from life? What would be your perfect dream life for you? So just spend a couple of moments just thinking into that. And if you want, you can type it in the chat line, wherever you are. What is it? What are you wanting, yet it isn't in your life? And for some of you, it might just pop into your mind immediately. And for others, you might not even know what you're wanting. And I'd probably call that the stuck structure. And I'll go into that in just a moment. So spending a few moments just on working out, okay, what is it that I truly, truly want? What do I really, really want? It's a great orientation question. So right now, you're activating what you're wanting to experience more in your life. So you're thinking about it, you're imagining it, and you're figuring it out what it is, right? Are you wanting money, relationships, or just to be happy? And so another orientation question would be, is what would you do if money was absolutely no object, that you received copious amounts of money in your bank account every single day, that you didn't know really what to spend it on because you were having so much money coming in? And these are really, really good questions. What is it that you desire? And what would change in your life if money wasn't an object? Like, what would you do? And so after we go through that, I just want to make sure that we're still live streaming here. I think I'm all connected. Yep. Exactly, Raymond. So Raymond wants lots of motorbikes, I'm sure. So that's what he desires, because he loves, Raymond loves motorbikes, I know. So the thing is, right, is that why is life for most of us not like that? Why can't we just manifest it? Why don't we have it? Why don't we have what it is that we are desiring? It's a really, really good question. Why don't we have it? Because you're smart. I know that, because you're listening to me and you're into personal development. So, you know, we can have a reason of why we don't have it. We can say, okay, well, it's our limitations, that's our beliefs, it's our fears, it's our emotions, it's our circumstances. And maybe, you know, you've been at the wrong place at the wrong time, and maybe you don't believe you can have it all. So here's the thing: who told you that you couldn't have it? Who told you? Was it someone in your family? Was it a parent? Was it a carer? Was it actually you? Have you tried a lot of things in your life and you haven't been able to have it, right? You've told yourself that, well, no one in my family a millionaire, so, you know, I probably won't be one. Or no one has made any more than 100 grand a year, so probably I won't have it. So are you telling it to yourself? Are you doing that? And I want to start with a very big, groundbreaking, revolutionary piece of information. We have been 100% misled. And especially when it comes down to creating things that we love. And so we live in a really broken down structure, a strange world that has many, many things wrong. So when you look back with all the information that you know now, back to your family, your teachers, society, government, media, whatever it is, we have been misled by our families, by our teachers, society, government, media, some coaches, some gurus. Everything is structured in a way that we are led to believe that we are broken and that we need fixing to have what it is that we're wanting. So let me explain, right? Listen to this. This may be a really valuable webinar, because I'm actually going to now on the whiteboard explain why we're actually in the wrong structure and why we can't manifest. And there's not many people actually talking about it. So you see, here's the structure. We live right now, we live in a reality, and this is called our current reality. So this is now, right? We have designed it, we have created it. You look around with what you have, you've created the house you're living in, the home, the money in the bank, the people that you're with, all the things, all the cars, everything. We have created it, okay? And that is in our current reality. That's the current reality. And we all believe that when we actually write down our goals and what we desire, our end result, which is our desired reality. So we have our current reality of right now where we're living, and then we have our desired reality, right? We think, right, we live life like the future will be better than the now. And this is really interesting because in this desired reality structure, it's I guess, a preview of what we miss and what we want. And as soon as you're in that current reality structure, you're actually saying to yourself that now is not enough. What you have is not enough. The future is going to be better than the now. So when we get to the desired reality, it's going to be better. Why do you think it's going to be better? Because we've got the money, we've got the health, we've got everything, because that's in our desired reality. And this is why it's really the number one thing why it doesn't matter how many courses you go to, how much work you do, how much education you get, because within this old structure, you'll never ever be able to get what you want. And this is exactly what I teach. And so here's why. The current reality is you being not enough. And that becomes your identity of self. And so it is very much like a stuck structure and there's no movement. So you're here in your current reality and you have lots of this and what I call this is stuck, is that when you're in your current reality, you have so many different desired realities that you feel stuck because you have lost your own direction. You're either living in someone else's reality or you're so confused with which direction that you're wanting to go. And guess what? You don't head anywhere. You may write the affirmations, you might write down the vision, you know, the vision board, you might meditate, you might do tapping, you might do all of these other things. But if there's no direction, if you're don't really understand where you're going, it's what I would call is the stuck structure. Now, in regards to the current reality, you have a particular identity of yourself. And what happens is in the desired reality, which is here, there is also a different identity of self. The issue is that these identities do not add up, because the person who has the money, has a soul partner, has the health, right? They've got their dog, they've got a beautiful home, they've got everything that they wanted, and this is in the desired reality. The identity of self would be quite different to the identity of self in the current reality. So we're not saying that once you move to the new identity of self, that the current reality's identity is going to die. We're just saying it's going to be different in the desired reality, not better, but it's going to be different, very different. So the problem is the structure. It 100% traps us, and every society has that. And this is what happens when you get into an oscillation type, I guess, structure. So either you're stuck and you don't know where you're going, or the second part is you're oscillating. So you're going forward and then you're coming back. So as you're moving forward to the desired reality, you basically get pulled back every single time, and you want to go ahead and you're looking outside of yourself to go and fix yourself. So there's another book you need to read, or there's another course you need to go to, or there's another meditation you need to do. You look outside of yourself. So what happens is, so we live in and live out. So we're oscillating in this world of the era of scarcity, frustration. And we live in and out of, we are not enough, we're not worthy, we're not perfect, we don't have the capacity, we don't belong, we're insignificant, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So this is what happens when you're actually oscillating. So you go towards your end result, everything that you're calling in, something happens, which means that there's either you talk yourself out of it or you start bringing up negative, I guess, things to yourself, the invisible instructions, or someone might trigger you, whatever it is. Then what happens is you get pulled back every single time. So you're either stuck or oscillating back and forth. And this is what happens. And I'd love you to be able to get this. And as soon as you move forward towards it, something comes in and you sabotage yourself. You literally cannot get what you want because the identity of self you have created is in conflict. And so here's the assumption that everyone makes, that you think you need fixing every single time. You think you need fixing. You know, you think that you need to fix and improve your life, or, you know, change your beliefs, and there's something wrong with you mode. So when you're looking at it with the fixing part, is that you think that it's your fault because you are the common denominator. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But I need to share this with you, is that there are so many courses that I have done myself. Okay. I've flown to Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of the winter. That was a shock because, as you know, I told you at the beginning that I live in Brisbane. Like, it's always tropical. It's probably like Florida or Mexico. Anyway, I go all the way to Sedona to do the Sedona method. I've done the Dr. Joe Dispenza program, studied Dr. Bruce Lipton. I personally coached, you know, with the Bob Proctor program, Thinking into Results. I've done retreats in Bali. I've done oneness in India. I've done 4 programs with Tony Robbins. I've even flew to Tony Robbins retreat over in Fiji to do detoxing program. You know, I'm a qualified NLP, neuro-linguistic programmer. I've done hypnotherapy in my clinic. I'm a naturopath. I've studied in Germany, Indonesia. I've studied tapping, bioresonance therapy, clinical practice for years. I've lived in Israel, India, London, searching. And I was an informational junkie because I didn't understand it was the structure that I was in, and I was looking to fix myself. There was something wrong with me. That's what I thought. And so it's quite easy with whatever happens in your life for you to think that it's you, that it's you. And I just want to debunk this idea, because when you have a look at marriages, right, 50% of marriages, it could even be higher now because it's going a bit crazy around the world. But, you know, 50% of marriages end with divorce, don't they? Most people are sick. Most people are overweight. You know, there's close to 2 billion people worldwide that are overweight. There's over 260 million people, it could even be more now, these are 2018 statistics, that suffer from depression, anxiety. No wonder, because they're living in this type of structure. It is a problem-solving structure. And so if you think you have money issues, join the world, because most of the world is actually in debt. It's run by about 1,000 people that are very, very wealthy. It's not personal. It's the structure that we're actually living in. So we think we need fixing. And then what happens is, we go here, like we oscillate, and then we go and try and fix ourselves and look outside of ourselves for healing. There's got to be that one sentence, or that one paragraph, or that one book. And then I'm going to go, that's it. My whole life is solved. But the truth is, the whole thing is a false narrative. It's just not true. You do not need fixing. what is the real common denominator? The real common denominator is the problem-solving structure. And what we need to do is we need to get into the creative structure and learn how to do that. And we can have a look at around the world, right? What happens in our life? It's just not us. But what happens is when we try and go ahead and look to fix ourselves, we change the people in our lives, don't we? We change the diet. Maybe it's the paleo, maybe it's the vegetarian. But there's one common denominator, is the structure. This whole structure here is the problem-solving structure. And we cannot manifest there. We cannot do that. We need to be in the creative structure and increase our vibration, increase our frequency. So we stop being stuck, we stop, oscillating, and we live with ease and flow and grace. And this is what I'm basically talking to you about today. We have been misled by society. And it's going to be better when. It's going to be better when I do this. It's going to be better when I do that. It's going to be better when I do this. No, it's just going to be different. It's just going to be different. So the personal development industry also operates on the problem-solving structure. And I'm not talking about, speaking to an accountant or taxation officer or whatever in regards to your business. There's certain problem-solving things you need to do. But in fact, in the manifestation and not working out on how to manifest, just learning how to get into that desired reality, that is really the key. And when we're actually looking at it, and this is where most people are, and I'm just going to cross all this off here. So we've got it. Going back here, we have the current reality, we have the past reality, and we have the desired reality. So in the problem-solving structure, so this is remember how we talked about the problem-solving structure? The problem-solving structure is that we're 90% in our past reality, and we know that by work with Dr. Joe Dispenza, that 90% of our thoughts every day are old thoughts. They're limiting beliefs. They're things that we're bringing up from the past, and that's 90%. And then, of course, what we have is that we have around 8% in our current reality. So we're 8% in the now, which is actually very, very small. So how can we really change our future when we're hardly even in the now? We're sort of in the past. It's like, that's really hard. And then we have, desired reality. And we have about 2% in the desired reality. That there is in the problem-solving structure. So you're either stuck or oscillating back and forth because you have so much resistance in between, and you don't know how to remove the resistance. Because remember, we have trillions and trillions of cells with trillions of memories, playing on the memory, and we keep rehashing those all the time, 90%, which is pretty sad, really, isn't it? Like it's a bit shocking when we're all trying to work out manifestation. How on earth are we going to do it? We're not really, right? So instead of coming from a place of creating, we have all our attention on being fixed, not realizing that we're really okay. It's just the structure that we're living in. And we are the image of our creator, and we can create ourselves from where we are. How good is that? How good is that? And so when you're looking at people, and I can prove it to you, is that back in the 1960s, we were told that we needed to have a healthy self-esteem before we were successful. Well, that was debunked like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, because you can have a look at some pretty successful, financially successful people on the planet, plus relationship successful people and health successful people, and look at what they actually achieved. Were they worried about fixing? Did they oscillate very much? No, they were just really focused on what they were wanting to achieve. So you see, when you're in the new structure, which is the creating structure, so we're in that creative structure. Guess what? This math here totally changes. It just totally changes the maths here. Because guess what? In the creative structure, right, manifesting, you are 90% in the desired reality, which is pretty amazing, right? This is where you need to be. Still, actually, you're 8% in the past reality and a 2% here in the current reality. And when you are retrieving certain things in the past reality, they're good and great memories which value you. So you're retrieving the past, but there's no pain on the past, and you're using it in your current reality. And you're actually in the desired reality, which is pretty amazing. But that is the structure to actually learn to be in. Because successful people do not chase around and try and find out how to fix themselves. They're not in that structure. They're in the creative structure. And there's many people that, that are like that, like Helen Keller, who wrote books. She became blind when she was about 6 years old, and she wrote amazing books. You're looking at Abraham Lincoln, who was depressed. Look what he did. You're looking at Steve Jobs. If it wasn't for him going part-time university and learning about fonts, we calligraphy, we wouldn't have fonts on our computers. J.K. Rowling is another person. Like flat broke. And she used to go into cafes and sit in trains so she could actually write. She could afford like a cup of coffee or tea. That's it. And sit there and just write and write and write. And so adding to that story, she went to like 30 plus publishers and no one really wanted to publish her book. So if she was in the problem solving structure, then she would be looking around to see who could fix her. She'd be popping from one personal development course to another. She'd be reading books. She'd be, going all over the place to try and figure out everything in her life. But in fact, she didn't. She was in the creative structure and she was 90% in her desired reality. And that's what I teach, how you can truly manifest, increase your vibration, increase your frequency to get where you want to be. Because it's not about fixing yourself. It's about creating a life that you love. That's what it's all about. It's just a structure. That's all it is. It's a structure that we're actually living in. That's it. And when I see people and they're talking about, feeling abundant, and sometimes, activating all their codes and all of that sort of stuff. And that's okay to a certain point. But you see, it has to be in the creative structure for that to come alive. It cannot be in, I'm going to activate my codes because I feel broken. Things are not really working for me. It must be because I can't activate, I've got to activate my codes to create. Well, I'm just saying that you don't. There's a lot of hazy metaphysical things out there that we can be absolutely sidetracked. And a millionaire mentor of mine, Chris, he said to me, it's actually when I truly go for it and I live in my desired reality, be there 90% of the time, live in the right structure. And he said, then you see it before, you're being it before you see it. So you're imagining it through the desired reality, manifesting it. That's when you can absolutely start understanding money. Okay. And he went on to say, money is a measurement of value that you give the person. And this is why I say, I'm not doing a sales pitch on this webinar. If anything, sell it to yourself because you deserve more. You need more self-care and more self-love. And that's how you're going to break away from this broken down structure of the fixing, the problem solving, because it's certainly not going to help you manifest. We need to get into the creative mode at least 90% of the time. So the thing is that what I teach is I blend neuroscience with quantum physics. That's what I do. And I teach you how to actually remove the resistance. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my screen, and I'm going to be showing you what I can actually do for you in regards to the program that I am running. So just one moment, and I'm just going to quickly get that for you. So just 2 seconds. Let me just share my screen, get it all set up for you. Alrighty, so let's share the screen. Hopefully you're going to be able to see it. And alrighty, so I'm pretty sure you can still see me on the right hand side. I think I'm going to make sure that I am here. Yeah, with you. Yeah, I am here. Great. Make sure that I am here. Okay, let me just, yeah, with you. Okay, get rid of that. Alrighty. So what we're going to do, this is basically how you can enroll and be part of what I do. So what this program that I've put together is, it's about recalibrating with a reset for 2022. And it's about remembering who you are and getting ready with the right skills to be able to navigate the current world events, which is very, very important. And so in the program that I run, you come and work with me, I provide you with all the tools and techniques that will assist in your spiritual evolution. I will get you from this broken structure to the creative structure, and that's my whole intention. So you can pretty much be a magnet to anything that you desire. So after this live, I'm going to be just dropping the link so you can have another look at it, but more on the details, the bigger picture of it is you're going to learn a new way of being with structure, blending psychotherapy and quantum physics together. We need to have them both together because you remember we're energetic beings. And so also it's about understanding the realms of consciousness. So it's removing the pain from the memory to have more satisfaction in life, breaking away from the programming, the unconscious patterning, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, to choose empowerment. And of course, I'm going to be teaching you how to tap into your superconscious. So you receive teachings and tools and tips on everything from the quantum field. And what we do is we integrate trauma, intentions, rules, contracts, shadow tandem, quantum memories to wholeness, to connecting with your guides, to your higher self, and to your purpose. And it's also about upgrading your human potential. So learning ways to navigate the current world events with more ease and grace. So remember how I talked about either you're in a stuck structure, you're either oscillating, or you're actually wanting to move with ease and flow. That's what it's all about. And it's all about less suffering and struggle. And of course, I include guided meditation, weekly coaching, which is every single week. Okay. So you receive modules as well as showing up to a group call, which is also on replay. So if you can't make it for that week, then that's okay. And also I'm going to teach you how to access your hidden field of information. So learning about how to connect with your intuition, which is how we have our inner instructions. And what happens then is that we learn that we have this natural genius, and that's where it's all stored, remembering that you are a powerful creator already. And also then that will allow you to tap into the magic, learning how to remove the resistance effortlessly. So as you're going into your 90% of your desired reality, there's going to be resistance along the way. And what we want to do is we want to remove that, the resistance, the energy resistance, so you can get connected to source energy. And then basically you can change to the highest level, and you can transform your life and you create your own magic. You can create your own magic here and your own miracles. So that's what it's all about. I'm going to drop the link and you can go through and you can have a look at it. That would be really, really great. I would absolutely highly recommend that you do have a really good, I guess, look at it all and decide, you know, whether this resonates with you. And, you know, it is about you. It's not about me. This is just the information, because once you understand the new structure, you stop at trying to resolve your identity, try and figure out why, you know, you're where you are. And you see, once you do that, all that magic happens. And those abundant moments happen more often. It becomes a way of life. And it's nothing to do with me personally exactly. You know, it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with the structure that you're actually living in, because we have different structures in our lives, right? So if you're in a structure of trying to fix yourself, you will always be either stuck or you will be oscillating. You certainly will not be living in the path of least resistance. It's just not going to happen. It just isn't. It's going to be a struggle. You're going to be really frustrated. And in my program, I include meditations. I include, close to about 100 recodes that you can actually go in. And now probably what because I've mentioned the recodes a little bit, it's how I remove the resistance. And it's pretty awesome. And at any time in the membership, you can just go in and you can just click on a recode. I do a recode in our group every single week. It's a fresh one. I download them also in the Abundant My Mastery program. And it's really great. So in regards to the recode, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea of what the recode actually is. And there's 5 steps to it. And if you learn how to do the recode, then you're going to be able to just remove all of the resistance so quickly that you're going to be taking aligned action whenever you're wanting. So I'm just going to do another whiteboard thing. So this is the last one. So if you're still here, I just want to congratulate you. You're the movers and the shakers. And you want to like change your life. You know, you're done with the problem solving structure and you're going, yep, this is what I want. I'm prepared to do it. I'm going to hang out with you, Jane, and this is what I'm going to do. So sell it to yourself. I don't want to sell it to you. Sell it to yourself. You're worthy of that, right? So number 1, right, is that this is you, okay? And this is also you in your desired reality and your current reality. And as you're moving towards your desired reality, what actually happens is that in Australia, we have wombats and they burrow in holes, right? So it's just a bit of a metaphor that as you're moving towards your desired reality, because this is what you're wanting, you know, the love, the money, and all the abundance, you're heading towards that way. What happens though, is that you keep falling down into all these pits of resistance. It's called resistance. And guess what? Remember, either you're going to be stuck or you're going to be oscillating back and forth, and you're just going to be and never ever land and not really achieve really what you want to achieve. It's just the way that it is. So what we do is that in the recode, how about this? Because remember, we have trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of cells, and we have pain on these memories. And the pain on the memories is all from your past or different timelines. We know by, lots of work in the past with psychotherapists that it's like 7 generations. Well, good luck if you're trying to work out what actually happened in your life. And it could even be another generation back. It's really difficult to actually remove it just in all one hit. You can't really, unless you bring in the quantum field, unless you tap into your superconscious to actually say, okay, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm at now. I understand I have pain on memory, but what I want to do is I want to change the pain and turn it into wisdom. That's what I want. So I want to keep the memory, but I just want to turn it into wisdom in my life. How beautiful would that be? So you see, as you're moving towards here, yes, you are going to get resistance. Absolutely. Because you remember, we have trillions of cells with pain on the memory. Trillions. Then what happens, right? We go, okay, we've got resistance. Now, the next little diagram, which will be the last diagram, 5 steps. Number 1, we get into our desired reality. That's when I say, what do you really, really want? There's a lot of detail around that, and I teach that. But basically, I say, what do you really, really want? And we bring up an image, and we also bring up a feeling around that. Number 2 is, okay, step into your current reality. So I say, how are you feeling right now? Because we don't want to suppress anything. Like, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now in your life? We want to feel that. We want to feel into the current reality. Then what's going to happen is we're going to feel tension. So there's going to be tension between the desired reality and the current reality. We're going to feel the tension like an elastic band. And that's good, because tension always seeks resolution. Absolutely. And that's great, because you're going to do a fantastic recode if you have the tension. And so then what we do is go, okay, well, let's take you through a process, and it takes around 15 to 20 minutes. And as I said in my program, I have like 100 and you can just tap into it. And so what I do throughout this whole thing is I teach you to do it yourself. And that's the New World practitioner, the New World coach. It's not always coming back for therapy. It's not. It's teaching you to be able to do this on your own, so you have the right structure, living in that creative structure for the rest of your life. And that's what it's all about. It's me empowering you and you knowing how to live in that structure, because we know the problem-solving structure is an absolute nightmare, and majority of the population are living a nightmare. So, and the 5th thing here is, once we recode and remove all the resistance, so you can have more satisfaction in your life and you can do aligned action, because once you remove the resistance, you're going to be able to take the aligned action. Guess what? The next step is aligned action. You're going to be able to take aligned action, because nothing is holding you back. Nothing. And then once we do that over a period of time, remember, 90% you're going to be in your desired reality, and the smaller percent are going to be in your current and your past reality. And your past reality is having no pain on the memory, because we tap into the superconscious while we're doing the recode, God consciousness, whatever you want to call it, source energy, whatever you want to do. And we ask and say, okay, this is where we want to be. This is where we are now. And we want everything to be removed, all of the resistance removed, so we can take the next aligned action. You cannot possibly manifest in the problem-solving structure. It is absolutely, I could say, absolutely impossible. So one last thing before I end, because I wanted to keep it on the hour this time, is that if you've got a lot of a lot out of this session, let me know. Text me, send me a message, or write it in the comments, because I truly believe that this will be the last personal development program that you'll ever have to join. Because once you are living in the correct structure, the creative structure, there is no other structure for you to actually be in. And that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to create. We wanted to learn how to create, don't we? And so one last thing, you don't need fixing. You are perfect. It's about living in the new structure of being. And staying in that end result, your desired reality, and be in that new version of yourself, which is that new identity of yourself. Will it take a little bit of time? Yes. Is it hard work? No. No, it's not hard work, but it will take time. But if any of this has resonated with you, then I would recommend you get back to me as soon as possible. As many times I'll pop in the link, and you're welcome to join and come be part of the group session where I will be doing lessons, and I also go through this every single time. You'll also gain access to all my meditations, also my conscious healer. So I teach you how you can heal yourself on a cellular level, and as well as you get the full abundant mind mastery, where you get modules every single week. So I'm going to end. So all I would like to say, my last thing, is you go and be that most amazing creator that you can be, and get your creation mode on. So take care, lots of blessings, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.